Hey everyone, watch this review here where they look at Captain America from the Marvel Universe Secret Wars 2-packs, also featuring Claw, who will be reviewed separately. I picked this up recently off the Big Bad Toy Store $5 sale. This one sold out real quick, by the way. I think it was like, within the time I got the email, I think like 3 hours later it already sold out, so you gotta jump on this stuff when you see it, but picked this pack up more for the Claw, but figured, you know what, I don't have a Captain America yet in the scale, and, that's also cool. I'm not 100% enthusiastic about the sculpt, but, there is a movie coming up, and the toys from that line look pretty decent so far, so I'm hoping that'll probably make up for that, but, let's get this open. Out of package, Captain America actually looks a lot better than I gave him credit for, so these things will occasionally surprise you, and this is one such case, but I think most of it has to do with, like, how you have him posed, where he's just like this, he looks kind of lanky and stuff, but when he's more out there, it, conveys a better sense of muscle and everything. But, my big complaint, though, is just the head sculpt, which, he just looks completely passive, it's kind of disinterested, like, he's just standing there, just minding his own business. It's not like a really combat thing. I mean, although I often criticize about like these action-y faces where they look like they're half constipated, I mean, action constipated still does work a lot better than, just completely impassive here. So, that's definitely probably one of the reasons why I didn't think he looked as cool in pack, but as you can see, it looks like it's basically a lot of the same standard parts, except for slightly remolded for detail. Like the upper torso here has all these little, I don't know what you'd call them, I guess it's kind of like a chainmail or like scales or something, but, very cool. The other really neat thing is, these lines on the torso here, these are actually sculpted in, they're not just painted on, which again is a very nice touch. Now, the upper torso here has several shades of paint. You'll notice that there are deeper shades just sort of going across. I mean, it's not just like a clean wash where they're just trying to like add shadowing for each of the little parts here. It looks like they actually toss like larger amounts up for the shoulder area and stuff to like really give an accent to the pecs, which is a neat effect. Now, unfortunately, they didn't really do much in terms of paint for these legs down here, so yeah. But hey, I guess it's not that big of a deal in the long run. As mentioned, this figure does have a really good amount of detail. You'll notice they have these little cuts here in the gloves, or I think you just call them gloves, in addition to having a fairly detailed belt, including little painted in, I guess, buttons or something for that part. Now, as for the shield, it's got like this piece here that clamps onto the arm, but it also moves forward and back. I guess it's for additional posing, but honestly, I've just found this to be a pain, because when you're trying to clasp it on, it doesn't always quite take, and it just moves around. But eventually it does work, and I guess it's, then when you're just trying to position, occasionally it'll just fly off his wrist. So I'm actually not sure why they opted for this. Now, the other interesting thing is that this hand can sort of hold the shield, right? But it can't do a real throwing pose. I mean, the best you can do is get kind of like this. The other hand, though, kind of does look like it's in a pose where he would be throwing the shield, but it just absolutely can't hold it. So, kind of sucks, but I guess you can probably just use like a piece of tape or something, then this hand does work like as if he just threw the shield, so, not too big of a deal. In terms of articulation, we have a ball-jointed head with a really good range of motion. He can look up a fair deal, in addition to going to the usual side-to-side. Rotation here on the forearm. It's concealed point just because of the glove, works nicely. Single joint elbow, point of rotation bicep, rotation, well, it's a ball jointed shoulder, torso joint with a generous range of motion. For some reason, like, a lot of them sort of lean more towards the right, don't really go down as much on the left. I know it's kind of funky. Now he also has a waist joint, which a lot of them don't have for some reason. I don't know. You know, limited range of motion here on the leg, basically because the butt sculpt has so much, I don't know, he's a big butt. And it somehow impedes the leg from going out just because it extends so far down. Double joint here at the knee. Now, a lot of the figures in the line have a ball and socket here at the ankle, but instead this figure has a point of rotation here at the upper part of the calf/boot, then a single joint here at the ankle. Overall, you know, a lot better figure than I originally gave him credit for, just seeing him around and stuff. Now, the one problem with my figure, though, is just the joints seem to loosen up incredibly quickly, and it does make things a little bit hard to pose, but originally, you know, he was really impressive in terms of posability just because it was one of those few Marvel Universe figures where I could pose it. I could leave it standing and I could come back in a few days and he'd still be standing in that pose, but I don't know, the joints just seem to loosen up. It's probably just a problem specific with mine, but the center of balance is really good once you factor in the shield, just because it does sort of allow you to get a lot of poses and just keep them in place, but I guess it's just the thinness of the joints or whatever, but I mean, a lot of these guys do have a bit of trouble standing up. Not too big of a deal, though, I guess. So yeah, this has been a look at the Captain America from the Marvel Universe Secret Wars 2-pack. Pretty decent figure. I am looking forward to the ones coming out with a movie line. So, until next time. Oh, I should mention he stands exactly 4 inches tall, so, you know, quick height comparison here with the classic Armor Iron Man from the, I think it was Series 3, or Wave 3. So yeah,